Imagine walking up on stage, about to play probably the biggest concert of your life with two of the most legendary, famous musicians of your country, yet finding out only 30 minutes before showtime that you are expected to play. This is exactly the situation a young man, 17 years old, found himself in many years back. Who was this? Who, why, where, how did this happen? Let me share his story with you. Let's rewind. This young man is just 6 years old. He's going to a regular school just like you, me, and everybody else. He gets into trouble. His father is called and is told that your son has been disturbing the class by tapping on the desk, and when he's asked to stop, he starts tapping with his feet. Maybe you should take him to a doctor. This poor little kid, worries about it the entire day. Somehow trudges along, reaches home thinking, oh, dad would be unhappy, a visit to the doctor, injections, who knows what. But as he opens the door, he's surprised. His father, instead of being angry at him, actually has a big warm smile. And there are two little things on the coffee table. They look like drums. What are those, Dad? He asks. His father looks at him gently and kindly and says, those are tablas and your lessons start tonight. Let's fast forward. Now this young man has moved from his city of birth, Patna, and is living in Banaras with his guru, who is a legendary tabla maestro, and learning from him, practicing 8 to 10 hours a day, getting lessons. There's a concert that's announced and everybody in the country is excited about it because his guru and another legendary sitarist are supposed to play again. Like everybody else, he's very excited. He can't wait for that day. On the day of the concert, say about an hour before leaving for the venue, his guru looks at him and says, go put my tablas in the car and yours too. Mine? This young kid thinks, mine? Why did Guruji ask me to keep my tablas? Oh, he must need some extra or spares tonight. But wait a second. He has 200 other better tablas than mine. Okay, maybe he still needs mine. So like a good disciple, he just does what he's asked to do. He goes to his Guruji and mentions, Guruji, I have kept the tablas and mine there. As he's about to finish saying that, his guru looks at him and says, go wear a nicer kurta. As you know, the traditional concert attire for Indian classical music is kurta and pajamas. Again, the young man thinks, nicer kurta? This is a nice kurta, but okay, maybe Guruji wants me to look nicer tonight. He's riding in the car with his guru. The car is hurtling towards the venue. When they are about 30 minutes away from the venue, his guru looks at him and says, oh, by the way, you are playing tonight. What? I'm playing tonight? His heart starts thumping. Why didn't you tell me this 6 months in advance, a year in advance? I could have practiced. I could have prepared myself for this very moment. But of course, he dare not ask these questions from his guru. He starts praying that, God, I hope he gives me some tips, some advice. Do this, play this, don't do this, don't play that. Nothing happens. They're about to get out of the car. His guru says, pointing towards the shoes that he was wearing, by the way, do you see what I'm wearing tonight? The student, the disciple, humbly looks towards him and says, Ji Guruji, yes Guruji. And his guru says, well, if I see fear in your eyes tonight while on stage, these are what will come flying at you. So suddenly, there he is, walking up on stage, 5,000 people, shuddering to his bones, and wondering why his guru didn't let him know in advance. But wait, as the rhythm part of the concert is about to begin, the sitar maestro decides to announce the tal, the rhythm cycle for that night's concert. He announces a rhythm cycle that this young man has not even been taught till that very moment. He looks pleadingly towards his guru, thinking that of course his guru knows that he doesn't know this tal. He will say, yeah, don't play now, play when another tal is played which you know. But guess what? All he sees in his guru's eyes is do or die. His neurons fire. It's like, okay, I will die either way, either trying and playing something or getting killed my guru for not trying. Why not I try? He jumps into his opening piece. As he ends, the audience claps. The sitar maestro looks at him with an approving nod and a smile, almost saying with his eyes, not bad. And then he turns towards his guru's side and gives him a smile and nods like, you haven't prepared him bad. Unknown to this young man, this moment would help him decide or take decisions that will change his life. Unknown to him, what his guru had done was take fear out of fear for the rest of his life. Let's fast forward. Now, this man has also gotten a university degree. He goes, like everybody else in his country, and appears for a management entrance test. Not only does he succeed, he stands second in the entire country. But now he has to choose. Does he want a career that's safe and secure, get his management degree, get a job with a good salary and he's all set? Or should he follow his heart and choose a life of music where there is no one path? Guess what he does? He chooses a life of happiness and follows his heart. Forward again. He's now in Delhi, starts playing concerts. Slowly he establishes himself as one of the most successful young tabla players of his country. Plays with every maestro possible, every big festival in India. He starts getting invitations to play all over the world. Let's fast forward, say another 10 years. He's been invited to play with one of the biggest, most well-known orchestras in the world, the New York Philharmonic. When I say orchestra, for the uninitiated, orchestra in the Western world is classical musicians playing string instruments, sometimes numbering to as many as 100 people on the stage, with another master musician who's called the conductor, helping them navigate that music together as a team. He's invited to play at the Lincoln Center. Lincoln Center is like being invited to play a test match, cricket, popular sport in India, a test match at, say, the Lord's Stadium in London, or Eden Gardens in Kolkata. He's walking up, he's about to start tuning his tabla, he sets up his tabla, he's tuning. Suddenly a woman walks up and she puts a metal something in front of him. And he looks up and he says, "Excuse me, what is that?" And this woman goes, "That's your music stand." Music stand? He thinks, but that's blocking my view. But before he could utter a word, another woman walks up and puts some sheets of music. What are those? "Oh, that's your music." So again, in the Western world, music is often written down on sheets of paper. That's called the score, and a musician is trained to read that score and play music accordingly. Well, this young man, coming from where he comes, is not trained to read music. Yet, he meekly raises his hand, looks towards the conductor and says, "Well, if you play this piece, I should be able to memorize it." A hush of disbelief lands on the stage. He could feel 50 pairs of eyes looking at him with disbelief. Like, what? A 28-minute long piece and this guy is going to memorize it right now on stage? Thankfully, they heed to that request and they start playing that music. Midway through that music, he raises his hand again and says, "I'm ready." 4 amazingly successful world premiere concerts follow. An amazing window opens in his life. Till then, he was a successful Indian classical musician, but now he's able to play with rock music, with Western classical music, with pop music, with jazz music. He's able to explore. Let's fast forward a few more years. He has the courage to suddenly move bag and baggage because he wants to try. He wants to give it a shot and see how much more he can push his boundaries. And he moves from New Delhi to come live in Boston, where he still is playing music, discovering other experiences, and sharing his wealth with the next generation. He can share something maybe at this right now at this moment. How about an Indian tal, an Indian rhythm cycle of 10 beats? Jap tal. It's called jap tal, and the way it's counted is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dina, di, dina, dina, di, dina, dina, di, dina, dina, di, dina, di. So I leave you all with this question that you should ask yourself. Do you want to follow your heart, or do you just want to do what everybody else is doing? Is it better to die knowing you tried, or is it better to die wishing you had tried? And I wrap up my talk to you all with a musical journey through a few states of India. Let's see if you can find out, or if you can guess which those states are. So here goes.